Surrounded
I'm
by
watching you,
impossible-
stranger.
I deserve a better posting. Elsa, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
That's all you have to say. You may as well leave me to it then. Of course, sir. Right away.
Bellwether, I need those reports, damn
Of
it.
course, sir. Right away.
What's this? Damn it, Barwell, you're supposed to be stopping intruders. There's still a fugitive on the loose.
It's Belworth, sir. And the fugitive's description doesn't match.
I don't care. Keep on alert until this fiend's head is on a spike. I don't want to end up like the others. Now, you... What do you want, lizard? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Manchester's missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. This isn't the ancient Empire, serpent. Now answer my bloody question. What are you doing here? Well, mind your bloody step in future. I've an investigation to carry out, and I don't need any more distractions. He's a deviant named Higba, a grubby little tinkerer with a criminal mind. Some of my magisters have vanished from Driftwood lately, and I'm certain that fiend is responsible. Hardly. By all accounts, he seemed like just another money-grubbing nobody. He must have caught my magisters unawares. It's the only explanation. No matter, he'll face justice either way. If you catch sight of that dog, tell me or my men at once. Understand? There might even be a reward in it for you. Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time then.
The silent watcher stands guard with... The Magister turns to you with a scowl. He already seemed immensely displeased, and your interjection isn't improving his mood.
What?
The Magister glances at you like you're something he just stepped in.
Keep out of it! I'll halve you with my sword if you don't mind your own business. That's what I want to know. Stuck here with those silent things. The new leadership ought to learn to respect its veterans. We're the ones who uphold the rule of law, not white ponches like Raymond and Jonathan.
A sly smile creeps across the Magister's face.
Aye, and sooner than you might think, if the rumours are true. Let's just say, there's other places where I'd be appreciated more than I am in Driftwood.
The Magister loses some of his bluster.
say. It's a secret for loyal members of the Divine Order only. Who asked you? You're not even supposed to be down here. Keep out of it.
The spirit of an emaciated prisoner is staring down at his own corpse. He shakes his head and lets out an exasperated sigh.
Of all the stupid ways to go. Oh, it was a stupid bloody accident. I dosed myself with some poison to make it look like I was half dead. I figured they'd take me to see a healer and I'd have a chance to escape. I must have taken too much of the stuff though. Wound up fully dead instead of half dead. Those bastards haven't even moved me body.
The spirit scowls at you.
I did nothing. Or I didn't do what they accused me of, at least. A miscarriage of justice is what this is. Easy for you to judge. You can just stroll out of here whenever you please. How about you go and do that now and leave me the hell alone? Gods preserve me. Have you nothing better to do than pest?
He shakes his head with
Life's bloody wasted on the living. Best leave that secret for someone who needs it. You can stroll out of here whenever you like.
Oh, great, a citizen. Can't you see I'm on a break here? What? Oh no. Poor Demori. Go tell Magister Raymond or Magister Julian immediately. They'll raise the alert. Go. Now.
Head nodding drowsily, the Magister brings her voluminous sleeve up to her face. She sniffs loudly and suddenly jerks to attention, eyes red-rimmed with zeal, and something else.
They won't take me unawares. I'm ready for anything. See? I haven't stepped in. Well, I'm ready. That's what matters. Vigilance!
She laughs an unpleasantly brittle crackle.
Sleep is for the weak. Weak! You just wait indeed. You'll fall into it like all the others, not me. Never me!
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep.
Elsa, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
Thank the Divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
He's here, somewhere. know it. I can smell him. Tell me, have you anything to report?
The Magister's eyes narrow and her lip curls as she assesses you.
It's vital that you report anything unusual. We must know. Is that clear? He arrived in Driftwood some days ago, dressed as a tinkerer. He bought and sold a few knickknacks. But we thought nothing of it until our brothers started vanishing. As soon as he knew we were onto him, he ran. We think he's hiding in here, but he's a canny one. Now, be on your way. Who knows where he could strike next?
Never forget. Do anything that will protect against bullets. I can taunt against fire, cold, and poison. But wide open, God knows what stuff those beasts. Cold water died.
Hackles raised, the dog barks at the sand built up beneath the building.
You're nice, and I'm a good dog. Yes, I am. There's something not right, and that's wrong. It's under the house thing there, and it's bad. I can smell it. You be careful now. What's under there smells real bad. It smells evil.
Rubbish.
The dog stares at a spot beneath.
I miss Joe's mum.
Joe's a good swimmer.
He's here, somewhere. Tell me, have you anything to report? If you see anything
I don't care if we tear this place apart plank by plank. We will find him.
Can't just charge in here and ransack my business.
There's a murder on the loose, and you're thinking about your business.
I have rights. You've no authority to storm in here like this.
We have the authority of 4 missing magisters. And if we suspect you're hiding their killer, we'll throw you to the damn point.
The dwarf peers at an expertly dissected fish, gently poking its innards with his knife.
Fascinating. Most fascinating. Oh, my. I mean, no, what do you want?
With a small grin, the dwarf glances between you and his handiwork and shrugs.
Indeed I am. They can close our schools, but they can't take away what I've been taught. Besides, there's still so much to learn. Plenty. These tainted fish are causing a lot of hardship. If I can understand what's happening to them, perhaps there'll be a way to reverse the effects. I have to try. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Speaking of which, I need to see the effects of eating these fish firsthand, if you understand me. Yes, as it happens. I need to see the effects of eating these fish firsthand, if you understand me. Wonderful. Now, there's 3 samples that I wish to learn more about. Care to choose?
The fish instantly churns your insides. You double over in pain. A sudden vivid sensation of floating in darkness assails you. There's something in there with you. Something. Hungry and corrupt. You can't breathe. The dwarf suddenly drifts back into view, peering at you with fascination.
How do you feel?
A stream of black bile suddenly erupts from your mouth and across the dwarf's boots. He doesn't even look displeased.
I see. Well, I'm sure it was nothing but a side effect of the fish. Speaking of which, I've learned a great deal from observing you. I owe you a great debt.
The dwarf puffs up his chest and proudly gestures to the fish.
The fish is indeed malignant. Lizards are affected by it in the same manner as other species. Thank you, but no. I can only allow for 1 specimen per volunteer, or my findings could become flawed. The fish you ate is known as yellow ridgeback. Quite a cunning breed, often used in concoctions to increase alertness. Who is to say how such a creature might alter an alertness mixture? Seek out somewhere that peddles alertness herb mixes. Adding these unique ridgebacks might make quite the impact. So, now my work must continue, as soon as I've got in my quota of fish, of course.
The stink of beer almost covers up the stink of fish.
The dog sniffs the wooden decking, like there's something wrong.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong, and it's not right. I don't know, but there's something wrong, and it's underneath the floor. Be careful down there, mister. You're not smelling what I'm smelling.
Careful now. That's a trap. Look out! I see a trap nearby. Careful. I've spotted a trap. This place stinks. But some of these barrels... Good find.
Dripping with liquid sauce, this barrel is sealed and marked with a cross. From the barrel you sense a familiar power. It thrums in your bones, in your soul. Inside, you find not fish, but weapons. Powerful weapons. The kind of weapons the Magisters took from the hollow marshes. One barrel of fish stands out from the others. It's sealed and marked with a cross. The dwarf reaches into a barrel and pulls out a fish. His knife glides, the innards fall to the floor, landing in a pool of dark bile. You'd expect fish to smell, but these reek.
Well, good thing you don't have my job, because then you'd be wrong, and you'd be poor. Boss has a buyer for nearly all our stock. A top price, too.
He runs his knife through another fish and flicks the blade, sending a shower of guts to the ground.
I'd say your guess is as good as mine, except I got the sense not to ask any questions. Now you slither on, lizard. I've enough scales to deal with.
The dwarf turns back to his work, slicing and disemboweling fish after fish. Looking at the barrel, you see that someone has scrawled Black House on it in paint. You cast your eyes around to see that every barrel headed to Arks has the same inscription.
Here, leave them barrels alone. I told you to take a hike, so scram.
smiles.
And you can get back to work.
You see a man, well-fed and wealthy, but stress has lined his face and narrowed his waist. He tries to ignore your presence, fails. He sighs.
See here, scale skin. I'm very busy. The factory is crawling with magisters, and our shipments to Arks are held up. Time is money. Don't waste my money. What do you want?
He looks surprised. Might be faking it, might not.
What weapons? What basement?
He swallows, like he has a lump in his throat.
You look like the kind of person who's very forgetful, with the right motivation. I have a sum of money in my pocket. It adds up to a very good time in the tavern. Glad to hear it. You'd just be buying yourself trouble in this town. What Julian doesn't know can't hurt him. Get the hell out of here. I'm done talking.
Here I still am, and here you still are. Adrift, yes? Have you anything to report? The rat bastards. Hid 'em right under our very noses. A marvellous find indeed. But I don't suppose you actually saw Lohar or one of his cronies handle these weapons in person. A pity, but we mustn't be deterred. This smuggling operation must be part of the bigger conspiracy that I suspect is taking place somewhere in the treacherous Reaper's Bluffs. I trust I'll continue to have your unmitigated support and loyalty as a matter of course. Speaking of loyalty, here's a little incentive to keep up the good work. Don't you let up now, you hear? Here I still am, and here you still are. Adrift and bloody driftwood. Yes? Have you anything?
Latest news! Fresh from the War Owl!
Magister's dropping left and right. Can't say I'm shedding any tears.
Where is it? Where is it? Sir, please, have you seen a small burlap pouch lying about?
Helmet up. I need those reports, Captain.
She looks up at you in surprise. Her great greenish gold eyes sparkle, and she rubs a palm over her smooth head, seemingly confused.
You'd help me.
Tears star her eyelashes and she begins to weep. She takes...
I know. What a crybaby I am. It's just... the pouch. I really must find it back, or my master will flay me alive. It had quite a sum inside it. Magister Raymond, he bade me take the coins to purchase supplies for his journey, but I dropped it along the way. He's sure to think I stole it.
She tilts her head back and blinks back tears.
I'd never do such a thing. Never.
She reaches out as though to shake your hand, but stumbles, falling a little into your arms. She laughs, embarrassed, and quick as she pushes off of you, she reaches lightly into your pouch. She stands up, straightens herself, and skillfully tucks some of your gold coins into her waistband.
Lucian's legs. No one's ever felt me lift him off him. You're good. Hey now, don't sting me where it's tender. I'm liable to keep that gold of yours if you're mean to me. Like a beggar, you mean? Yeah, and then you'd walk by with a tut-tut. But people like a good story, don't they? You really want to know? The Magisters took the love of my life down to Fort Joy. Did you hear they're turning sorcerers into those freaks? I don't know if it's true, but I'm not going to wait to find out. I'll die before I'll let them do that to Butter. So I need money. For a boat, for a crew, enough to bribe someone into letting her go. I'll find a way.
She freezes, then starts to visibly tremble. A tear rolls down her cheek.
You met her? Really? How was she? Was she healthy? What'd she say? What'd you say? How did she seem? Really? She told you to meet her in Arx? Mentioned the two of you had a special connection, right? Funny lass. Pulling that old scheme even in a prison camp. It's a good thing you didn't, bub. She would have robbed you blind. You seem like a good sort. And this is the first news I've heard of my gal in far, far too long. Take these, eh? They're yours. And your gold back, too. Plenty of other marks in the sea. Good luck to you.
Alexander the Innocent, killed by sorcerers, a most vile incident.
You have interrupted my newest masterpiece!
The bard clears his throat and gargles on his own saliva. He then returns to his poem, but his voice...
Well, never you mind. Every sonnet I compose is a masterpiece, and my muse has been begging me to wait. You might be just the stimulus I needed. I shall craft a rhyme for you and your race. All I ask in return is a handful of coins. It's an magnificent. But if I am to write...
He stares at you for a few torturing...
Let's cut to the chase, lizard. Your kind has built an empire on the backs of slaves, reaping the rewards of the innocent's toil. Do you condemn your kin?
He smiles a crooked smile and runs a hand through his greasy hair.
It isn't just slaves that suffer, though, is it? You eternally seek perfection, though offer no room in the creaking empire machine to the sage or the savant. What say you? This superiority complex, this haughtiness, so cold. Others see you for what you truly are. Monsters. Loveless, heartless, ruthless. You know it to be true.
The bard hems and haws, then bellows his next words to anyone who might hear.
To all lovers of verse, I bring glorious news. I have completed another modern classic. Listen now. Empire built upon the backs of slaves,
Same size and price for everyone.
does not deserve the faintest
If I
breath
want something,
of
I'll
praise.
let you know.
Eternally, the servants toil and sweat, yet cannot extricate
The spirit of a magister stares dumbly at her translucent hand, the fingers of which have been sheared off.
My ring. Where's my ring?
The spirit looks at you with the smallest flicker of realization.
I was still alive when she started cutting pieces off me. She wanted me to feel it. All of it.
The spirit inclines her head towards the kitchen. The spirit ponders your question and seems to shiver.
Oh, in many places. I feel my body in 100 moving graves, warm and wet.
Yet cannot extricate themselves from debt. Tell me, if genius is apprehended. Ambition is all. A life of few surprises.
Damn right. I got a right to live.
Time has come to ease their daily
An elf sways on her chair, her eyes focused on the counter in front of her, where she has 6 glasses in a row. With the nails of 2 fingers, she's pressing red welts into her forearm. She slides one of the drinks towards you, her head bobbling heavily on her neck as she nods at the sparkling ale.
And that's. Nothing like a glass of the good stuff to smudge everything into a pretty shape.
She slides another glass of ale toward you. Its contents sparkle in the dim barlight.
Bottoms up. Cheers to you, me, and...
Her gaze swivels around the room.
Damien's dull knife. This place is horrible. Never mind. Cheers to you, me, and me again. Another.
What do you mean? Ah, fat lot of good that'd do me round here. Poor dwarfies can't seem to catch a break in these parts. So, to the dwarves. Ah, down the old ouch. Oh, reckon that was. Reckon a one too many.
With genius is average, cream always rises. Ambition is all.
Dwarf
A
and
life
an elf
of few
is
surprises.
Wheel of
Time
the
has
good
come
stuff.
to ease their daily grind
Let me tell you something.
and insist their hearts to overwhelm
Damien was
their
kind of
minds.
cute though.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
The soft lines of her face fold into a warm smile. She sets the glass on the counter and pours you a generous portion of an amber liquor.
I see your mother raised you very well indeed. Rare for a lizard, but all the more impressive. You and my Niles might even get along. What brings you to Driftwood, darling? Yes, that's my boy. Did you know him? Finest physician in all of Reaper's Coast. Top of his class. My, but it's been too long since I've seen him. A fine physician indeed. That's my boy. Some say all a growing child needs is food and sunshine. I say abstinence and chastity will grow him finer than either one of those. Oh, but it's so good to meet a friend of Niles. Here, have a little something to eat. Niles' favourite, you know. No one in our little town can appreciate work so fine as his, you know. All his instruments and books are stored away upstairs, all but forgotten. It's such a terrible waste. Well, I'd love to show you, but I'm afraid I can't leave the bar unattended. This crowd isn't to be trusted, believe ye me. But I suppose, well, there's no harm, is there? You seem to be a good sort. One of Lucian's own, isn't that right? Here, take this key and head on up the stairs. You'll find Niles' room there. He'd want to know his fine things weren't languishing unappreciated in his old room.
Serve the faintest breath of praise. Eternally, the servants toil and sweat.
She nods an uninterested greeting.
Here for the fight? This is a tavern. People are drinking. Eventually there'll be a fight. You planning on starting one? Well, I look forward to beating the shite out of you then. Bye now.
Don't expect no small portions. Same size, price for everyone.
The cook acknowledges you with a small bow, an oddly formal gesture given the surroundings.
Please, sir, you should not be back here. It's not safe. Cinnamon, not nutmeg. There's a food shortage in these parts. Fresh meat can be hard to come by. Liberal seasoning helps disguise all sorts of sins. Now, please, I must return to my work. Sharp knives, boiling liquids, short tempers. Don't underestimate the dangers here. Now, please, I must insist. You should speak to Loverick if you want food.
What's this? I found something.
What's this? I found something. Just when I think this land holds no more still.
It bears the Magister's seal. And there's blood on it.
Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to wander about like this.
She grabs the ring and glares at you, like a rattlesnake observing its next live meal.
You should have just kept out of this.
She gives you a defiant look.
Magisters are a blight. They deserve worse than the death I gave them. I wouldn't taint the earth with their carcasses. Better that they vanish into unsuspecting stomachs. I don't want to be lauded. If word spreads of what I've done, the Magisters will swarm all over me in an instant. I can't let that happen.
There's a carving knife in her hand. You never even saw her pick it up.
I have more work to do, more Magisters to rid the world of. I can't leave any loose threads.
She gives you a long look, unsure. Then,
You should have just forgotten all about this.
cooking notes. Wait, there's something wrong with this.
A lifeless elven child is cradled in your arms. Your vision blurs with tears. You look away. To a raised valley below, tendrils of death fog dissipate, revealing a victorious Divine Order army advancing. Humans, magisters, murderers. The spirit of Wivlia glares at you with all the venom she can muster.
A life of few surprises.
Here I still am, and yes? Have you anything to report?
Nelson, my inkwell is
Course,
dry.
sir.
Fetch me some more.
Right away.
The Magister's jaw is tightly clenched.
What? Well, what are you waiting for? Tell me! What? The bloody cook? It can't be. Well, why did Higba have that contraband then? Then he's still guilty of something. I'm not calling off the manhunt until I have that fiend one way or another. As for this cook, do you have any proof?
The Magister snatches the note and peers at it.
These names, they're the ones who went missing. And others. My name is on here. The cook's been reported dead. How did you get this? Never mind, I thought she was another victim, but this... She must have been the culprit.
He shudders in disgust.
And to think she was so near to us, to me, all this time. It seems I owe you my thanks. And a reward.
He holds out a pouch of gold. You try to take it, but he doesn't yet relinquish his grasp. With his free hand, he wags a finger in your face.
Keep this ugliness to yourself. I wouldn't want it thought that we Magisters can't solve our own problems without throwing gold about.
He lets go of the pouch and turns away.
Bellwether, I need those reports,
Course,
damn
sir.
it.
Right away.
Nelson, my inkwell is
Course,
dry.
sir.
Fetch me some
Right
more.
away.
Bellwether, I need those reports,
sir.
damn it.
Right away.
Nelson, my inkwell is
Course,
dry.
sir.
Fetch me some
Right
more.
away.
Nothing good.
Genius is average. Dream always rises. Ambition is all. A life of few surprises. Time has
Same as before, the spirit...
The ring! It was right here, on my finger.
Something shakes the Magister's ghost from her stupor. Her gaze falls on the ring and brightens.
My ring!
Your words take a long moment to sink in, like they're being translated for the netherworld.
Return it. Home to my brethren.
The spirit smiles at you. If it weren't for the circumstances, it'd be almost heartwarming.
does not deserve.
No more disappearances? No more deaths? It seems justice... source weapons? What the hell are they doing there? No more disappearances? No more deaths? It seems justice has been
The Magister takes the ring from you.
This was a conduct award. I gave it to Magister Harrick myself. She showed great promise.
He stoically nods his thanks.
An empire built upon the backs of slaves does not
The spirit
deserve.
smiles with contentment. She raises her hand in thanks. Its spectral fingers now restored. There's a glimmer of what might be a ring on one of them. She vanishes.
No small portions. Same size and price for everyone.
Always rises.
If I want something...
Ambition